He slammed his palm against the dining table, so hard the dishes clattered. "Give the apartment to your sister," he said. "She needs it more than you do. You already have plenty." The silence that followed was thick, uneasy, stifling. My mother lowered her gaze. My sister, Noor, sat perfectly still, pretending to be innocent, her eyes shining as if the universe itself had wronged her. I looked straight at my father. "No," I said. One word. "Calm. Final." He leaned in, his tone turning venomous. "Then I'll make sure you get nothing when I'm gone." That's when I smiled just a little, because what he didn't realize, what none of them knew, was that I already owned something far more valuable than his inheritance. When I was young, my father was everything to me. Strict, yes, but fair, or so I believed. He'd built his business from the ground up, ensured we never went without. Noor was a sunshine, soft, obedient, fragile. And me? I was the practical one, the one who didn't cry to get her way. I thought merit mattered. He thought favoritism did. So, when I finally saved enough to buy my own apartment, my first real piece of independence, I believed he'd be proud. Instead, he told me to share it. By share, he meant give it away. I laughed that day, assuming he was joking. He wasn't. The first crack in our family's glass appeared a year ago when I helped Noor land an internship at one of our partner firms. She had no experience, but I wanted her to grow, to prove herself. Then one afternoon, my boss called me in. "Did you know your sister's been leaking client files?" My stomach dropped. I knew her too well. When I confronted her, she cried, swore it was an accident, begged me not to tell Dad, said it would destroy her career. Against my better judgment, I protected her. A month later, I learned she'd sold that data to a competitor for cash. I said nothing. I told myself justice arrives later, quieter than anger but sharper. So when Dad demanded I give her my apartment, I finally saw the pattern. Noor would make a mess, and he'd clean it up. She manipulated. He defended. And every time I was told to understand, she's your sister. So I decided it was time he understood me. For months, I gathered everything. Transaction records, fake accounts she used to move stolen money, her messages to that company's CEO. She'd even sent them from Dad's office laptop. He thought she was pure light. I made sure to capture the ashes behind those wings. Then I waited. That dinner table confrontation became the perfect stage. My mother's anxious glances, Noor's trembling act, my father's rising anger, all of it predictable. When he stood, shouting threats about cutting me off, I calmly reached into my bag and placed a brown folder on the table. "Before you do," I said softly, "you might want to see this." He frowned, snatched it up, started reading. I watched the color drain from his face. The air thickened. Noor's lips parted, panic spreading fast. Inside were documents proving everything. How she'd embezzled money from his own company using shell accounts, even forging his signature on transfers. He dropped the pages. This is a lie." "No," I said, "it's evidence, and it's already been sent to your board members. You might want to call your lawyer before they do." Noor gasped. "You wouldn't." I already did. For years, I've been the quiet one, the obedient daughter, the afterthought. But obedience is only a mask, and silence cuts deep when you learn where to aim. The next morning, I got a call. The company froze Noor's accounts. My father was summoned for questioning over internal fraud. His empire, the one he'd built with pride, began crumbling from within. That night, he called me, his voice fractured. "Why would you do this?" "Because you taught me to earn what's mine," I said. "And she took what wasn't hers. I just restored the balance." He hung up. I didn't celebrate. No champagne, no triumph, just stillness. The kind that feels like standing in the calm center of a storm you created. A month later, Noor fled abroad. My father quietly resigned, citing health reasons. He never reached out again. Sometimes I visit that apartment he once wanted me to hand over. I stand on the balcony at night, watching the city lights shimmer across the glass towers, reflections of choices, mistakes, and consequences. People call it revenge. I call it truth on a timer. Revenge isn't fire. It's ice. It needs patience, precision, and control. You let it freeze. Wait until the ones who wronged you step onto it themselves. Then they slip. I didn't destroy him. I simply revealed the daughter he'd raised. And that was enough.